Hey, we want to talk about kind of how we, I guess, determine what somebody knows for, like,
Right.
how do we validate somebody coming into our company based on their experience, their knowledge, and then for what they, as far as their pay goes, right? Like,
Yeah, and what we're looking for, right?
so we try to pay top dollar in the field that we are in. It's one of the ways we compete with our competition. But we get so many people in here asking for top dollar, so we'll put an ad out that says $30 to $40 an hour, or I even think if we put an ad at $100 an hour, we'd get guys coming in and say, "Yeah, I've been doing this 25 years. I want $100 an hour."
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Great. 25 years? Let's do it. Yeah, get out there and make us some money, right? Like.
Yeah, but what you don't know
is what they don't know?
Is what they don't know, yeah. Is that they've been working on, like, lighting, changing ballast for 25 years, or putting in exit signs for 20 years, and they can't even bend conduit even though they've been doing electrical work for 25 years. Like,
that's funny because, like, years ago I took a job in a new construction. I did some new construction time, right? So I started in service, then I moved into new construction thinking it might be easier or better, or I don't know. And I got stuck on a job site for like 2 weeks. I lasted 2 weeks before I quit, like, because every day, that's all I did was exit signs. Every single day. There are guys out there, yes. So you have to be careful. You have to be mindful of what you're trying to do with your career, right? Like, I like to joke, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. But when you are out on a job and you're learning how to rope a house, let's say residential electrician, you're roping a house. You fucking do that for 3 months, 6 months, a year. Year rolls into 2, 2 becomes 5. Now you've been doing it for fucking 10 years. You've been roping a house.
Yep.
You're making that company money. That, you're earning a wage, but it's not necessarily benefiting you just to know how to rope a house, because you're probably not on the trim out crew. Because then there's a trim out crew who's putting in devices. Trim out, 5, 10. Now we've got 2 guys, same company. One's fucking roped a house for 10 years. That's all he knows how to do. He's going to claim himself as an electrician.
For sure.
Because, he could circuit some things. Has no experience in commercial. So all single phase.
Yep.
Right? All single phase based on plan set. So he hasn't ever had to engineer anything, field engineer. And then the other guy's been putting in lights and switches and outlets, and he's an electrician too.
Yep. And both of them are going to come in, interview with us, tell us they've been doing it for 10, 20 years and want $40 an hour.
Right.
And we do service electrician. A lot of our work is commercial. Right? So we need somebody that can do everything that we need them to do. And neither one of those guys are the guy. Even though both of them have been working in the field as an electrician for the last 10, 20 years.
Right. We call service the special ops, right, of the electrical industry. When you're able to, that's our niche. Our niche is, hey, we work in facilities, commercial and residential, existing facilities, right? Existing buildings, commercial and residential. So we need to know, like, we have to have the understanding of how that house was roped, how to troubleshoot problems, how to add things after the facts. We need to know where top plates are, how to get to the, through an attic, how to get across the I-beam, how to get underground through a slab. Like, we need to know all of that to work in an existing building versus what little, like, even just on the new construction side, like, the new construction guys never do that. So services should be the highest paid kind of thing, kind of skill set in the trade. But with the labor pool the way it is, it's not, that doesn't seem to be holding up. Everybody's wanting top pay. Everybody's offering top pay now to get guys in the door so they can even stay busy. One of the things we have a service test, right? Like, kind of a preview. I'm not going to tell you all the questions I asked, but we're going to go over a couple. This guy came in. He wanted top pay. Said he's been doing it forever. We asked him, what are the colors? Like, here, first fucking question. Fill in the appropriate colors for each phase. Well, for each value voltage system, right? So we got 12208. On A phase, he said black.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're all right so far.
Okay. B phase said red.
Okay.
Right. C phase. Now this is where we threw him a curveball. He said white. And then on the
Okay.
N, and then when we put N, for those of you that don't know, means neutral. He guess what? Guess what he put?
Green.
You see, that's how I know you've been in the
That's
trade a
what
long time.
Green.
He put the
He's a
same
single phase guy. He's never even seen a blue wire.
He put the same exact thing on 277-480. Black, red, white, green.
Yep. Single phase guy. He's never even seen a commercial 277 480 system.
A tip to you other contractors, right? Like this is kind of how we differ. Like this is how we keep ourselves from fucking paying a guy 2 weeks worth of salary before figuring out he doesn't fucking know anything, right?
Right. Yep.
When somebody comes in and talks to us, they all talk a big game. I get it. Like I want to make sure that we're offering an awesome opportunity for people to join our team, but they have to have the assets we're looking for. In order for us to figure out how much they know is we give them this test. And I tell them, I go, this test isn't to insult you. It's for us to know what you understand and where your education level is so we know where we can use you in our company.
Yep.
We're not just looking for the guys that know everything, but there are a few things on this test that we think you need to know in order to get to the next level.
Yeah, and it's an open book test. You know, we understand that you're not going to remember all of that stuff off the top of your head, but being able to find the answer inside of the code book is part of the test as well.
Right. Open book. But you could tell this guy was open Google.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
and we can tell who had most of the knowledge versus who used the code book for every single question in there based on how long it takes them for the test. We've had people sit in here for hours. Hours on this thing.
Yeah. So here's one. Explain AIC. He put score equals K, lowercase p, minus 2, log, parentheses L, model complexity, model performance.
What?
It's like fucking Einstein. I picture that like meme with Einstein or the guy all confused with the numbers floating around everywhere.
Right.
You know, like that's what I picture when I talk about. Like, what? That's a Google answer. You know, Google knows.
That is a Google answer. For sure.
Here's another Google answer. EMT, electrical metallic tubing, shall be supported where? And what we're asking for there is where do you need to support EMT? So we know that it's 3 feet. You have to have a strap or support 3 feet within a box or a coupling, and every 10 feet from there. So essentially your first stick of conduit can have 3 feet of strap, and then from the first coupling, 3 feet or a foot, you know, and then you can go a full stick before you need one strap, a full stick before you need another strap. What do you think his answer was? You have there's no way.
Let's go with, I'm going to give him some benefit of the doubt and say just every 5 feet.
Vindorf from ceiling.
What?
So some of the other questions we asked, you know, like what is XO at a transformer? What article in the NSE covers grounding? You know, in a 120 volt circuit, what color is the grounded conductor? Here he wrote green. He's wrong there. He did get the symbol for phase right. We asked him to draw a 3-way switch diagram. He drew one 3-way switch, and it said line, load, and traveler.
I was about to say, it's kind of one 3-way switch, and it's wrong.
And it's wrong too, yeah. So like, this is fun. We make everybody take this test that claims to have experience. If you come into our shop and say, I don't have any experience, we'd say, all right, well, you know, if we're currently taking on apprentices, you know, we have an apprenticeship program. We run you through the program to make you a journeyman. You'd be licensed by the certified by the state of Arizona, and then you could get out there and say, hey, I know something. Here's my fucking journeyman. Right. I went through this. You're still not going to know it all.
That test is okay if you're asking me for $20 an hour. That test is okay. We'll teach you some things. You got some things to learn. Man, right?
That's pretty sad still, though.
Yes, agreed. But if you come in here and that's your test and you're asking for $40 an hour because you're making $33 an hour somewhere else,
you might want to stay where you're at.
Just stay there.
A lot of people think
until they figure it out, because
or you're doing that one thing they need
right,
you to do, and that's worth $33 an hour for them, right? But we need something different like this. So what happens is we let them know. Hey, we come back. We go. Hey, listen. You got 2 questions right, and you're asking for $35 an hour. You can see how I'm not. Well, you can see why we're a little confused of how you came to those numbers.
Yeah.
We had. I don't know if it was this guy in particular, but we had a guy that he said he claimed he had 20 years in the trade, wanted $39 an hour or something odd. It was like $37.50 or something odd. Like, I feel like it was like a marketing gimmick, right? Because that's what I was making sound more realistic. And he took the test. He got 3 questions right. I go, listen, I can't pay you that. He goes, yeah, I know. And I go, you want to talk about our apprenticeship program? He goes, no, I'm just embarrassed. I'm going to leave. So he walked out the door, otherwise known as Down the Road Electric, right?
Yeah.
DTR. Like we're going down the road. See ya.
Have a good one.